Hey, welcome to Bex Checks. This is the show where I call you, random people, and ask how they're doing. That's promising. Got a ring.
Good morning, Hammond Law. This is Amanda. How can I help you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm doing a show where I call random numbers to check on people and see how they're doing, and I don't mean to get a business. Although, if you have a moment to chat, I'd love to chat with you.
Sure.
Oh, great! What's your first name? You don't have to give me all of your information. Just what do you want to be called?
Amanda.
Amanda, my name is Bex. This show is called Bex Checks. I call random numbers and just sort of check on people, see how they're doing. How are you? I imagine, did you just get into work, or is this the middle of the day?
It is the middle of the day, yes. We start at 7.
Day. How's the day going?
Yes. Not too bad for a Monday. I can't complain.
That's good. That's a good attitude. What's on your mind? Is it head empty kind of day? Do you have like a thing that's rattling around up in there?
I wish it was a head empty kind of day. I have lots on my desk. I work as a paralegal, so there is always something on my mind.
What does that mean again?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So it's really just a fancy word for I draft all of the documents and do all of the legal research for the attorney himself.
Oh my gosh. That's so you're basically just doing a whole hell of a lot of paperwork all day.
All the guts, no glory.
Well, now you get the glory. I'm giving you the glory now. You probably can't share anything about like cases you're working on, but is there like an exciting case that you have worked on? Was there an interesting case that you've worked on?
We do a lot of family law here,
Sure.
So a lot of custody visitation. Nothing really too exciting. We are in trial this week on a matter that's been in trial for, I think this is day 14 and 15.
Whoa. And so if a case is going on for 14 days, are you constantly working on it like as it goes? Like, are they like, yes. So like each day in court, and I'm referencing entirely Law and Order in my head right now. I have no idea how this actually works.
I love that.
But so like everybody's in court, they're making their case, but then like somebody throws a twist, right? So the defense or whatever throws something crazy you didn't expect. Now they're calling you, and now you got to scramble to figure out what they're talking about and what that means for you, right? Is that how it works?
You are exactly correct.
Oh my God.
Usually it's in the form of an email or a text message like, hey, get on this.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And so what is your process? Do you have like a data bank that you go to, or is it just Google?
So usually I'm referring to like law books.
Oh.
Sometimes Google's my best friend, to be honest with you.
Sure, I imagine. Is there law books? Is there like a law Bible?
There is a series of law books that cites all the case law.
So
cases that have previously been decided.
So law is based on what we've decided in the past.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So you reference what could be appropriate now based on what was decided to be appropriate then.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes, your decision should be this because a prior court decided this is what decision should be based on.
Wow. And so I would imagine then it's kind of like science in the sense that like everything's changing constantly. So you have to be on top of like, this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's why we do something called shepherdizing. And all that means is, again, it's just a fancy term. And when you shepherdize a case, it means you are making sure that case is the most recent case law.
Oh. So, like, if something happened, how recent can it be? Like, if something happened last week in another state, does that affect you?
So you typically only case law within your state. Sometimes you will refer to Supreme Court cases, like national Supreme Court cases.
Right.
But typically you are dependent on your case's state law. And the appellate divisions normally make decisions once a month.
Oh. So you just have to check it, like, when they update it.
Yes.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, I guess that's kind of handy. You know, every time I hear anything about how courts work and law and all that stuff works, it just seems like a whole bunch of chaos.
Always.
And I don't know. I don't get how
I'm a chaos coordinator.
You're a chaos coordinator. That's so weird.
Yes.
Do you think, honestly, do you think that the system is well built? Do you think that it should be changed? Do you think that it's doing the best it can?
I think it's absolutely doing the best it can. I think that it allows for a lot of checks and balances, which is a necessity.
Of course.
Yes. So judges will make decisions, and then those decisions, if they are appealed, then that decision would go to the appellate division, which then decides, did that judge make the best decision or not? And then that is the case law that we would depend on.
Right. Have you ever worked on a case where you, did not agree with the person that you're trying to help?
More than once.
More than once?
Yes.
How do you do that?
Yes.
I genuinely, I'm just the kind, I am, I work at a theme park, right? And I get infuriated.
That's exciting.
It can be. I get infuriated by the corporate bureaucracy and about there's just the general evil of capitalism, you know, and the general immoralness of how much money these people are spending and all those things. That eats away at me. How do you do it when you're on the front lines of the issue?
So our job essentially is to advocate for the client regardless of whether we agree with the client or don't agree with the client.
Right.
Whether we are retained or assigned. So in other words, when they say, if you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you.
Right.
That's all that means is we've been appointed. Whether we agree with them or not, they are our client. So we do, advocate for them while also advising them what would be in their best interest.
You are, you sound...
Sometimes I say to my other half, without divulging details, I'll say, sometimes we don't always get the good guy.
Yeah. And I guess you just have to sort of accept that.
There's ups and downs to every job, right?
Well, and
yours might be on a roller coaster.
Yeah. And I think too, maybe similarly, when in a theme park setting, similarly, my job is the customer's always right. That kind of vibe, right? You're trying to give them a good experience, even if they're being a total shithead to you, right? And
which I'm sure happens more than
so much. It happens so much, and it's one of those things where I've learned that it's actually helped me. Working at theme park has helped me very much to trust in the humanity of most people, that they are likely, there might be something going on that I don't know. And actually, I'll give you a really good example of a really good picture of what this is. The other day, my friend and I were out in front of our venue, and we saw this couple that were kind of arguing as they walked by, and then they sort of stopped, and the girl seemed really angry about something, and the boy just sort of hugged her. And just sort of awkwardly hugged her, and she didn't really reciprocate. It was very awkward. Both of us were just what's the story there? What's going on? That and why isn't why is he not getting the fact that she does not want to be hugged? And I went home and I told my partner about it. My partner said, well, what if she's having a panic attack and she's told him that's the only way I'm going to calm down is if you just hug me, just cover me with your body. And we were like, wow, that's such a good point. That you really just don't know what's going on. My dad always used to say there's always something you don't know about a person's behavior. When they treat you a certain way, they might have something totally else going on that has nothing to do with you. And a theme park, you talk to people rapidly. I talk to thousands, probably hundreds of people a day. And I've learned that most of them aren't trying to be shitty. Most people aren't.
Something has led them to
Something has led them to be shitty, right? And I understand that in a legal situation, that might get a little more complicated because they may have actually done something horribly wrong. And I get that.
Yes.
But I also think that I am of the belief that there is a reason, there are legitimate, realistic reasons they got to where they were. They ended up doing that thing they did.
Yeah, there's research that actually says that. I mean, obviously there's those few in between people who are just really terrible people. They're just born terrible.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever represented those specific people, but there is research that indicates that typically if a crime has occurred or somebody has done something terrible to someone else, or just in general, that normally that is motivated by one of two things. Either it's a crime of passion, like as far as, someone they love or something like that has caused them to do something terrible.
Yeah.
Or it's money motivated.
Isn't that just devastating? That green paper leads to that. I mean, it's just I am dealing with my partner's a teacher, and a lot of their students their families are likely on SNAP benefits, which will likely be taken away next month, and we're worried about like all that stuff, and I posted about it, and all the comments are just absolutely horrific about like these lazy parents.
Some people are just,
and what greed has done is just so bizarre that like people hate people for being in a situation that everyone is like one bad thing away from being in that same situation.
Nobody wants to be in that situation. Nobody. And regardless of the parents' decisions, at the end of the day, in no way is it ever the child's fault.
Right. Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Greed is awful. Money.
It is.
Money
it really is. Yes. Yes.
What percentage? I'm curious, as from a person who works in legal things. What percentage, in your opinion, do you think of the human population? You can even just say our country, the United States, which I assume you're in. I didn't check, but I would imagine that you are. Yeah.
Yes, I'm in upstate New York.
Upstate New York. Oh, that makes sense. Because this is 607. Yeah, my partner went to Ithaca and said that this would be a good area code because there's a lot of hippies up there.
So we are funny because so previous to working here, I actually worked on the other side. I worked for the court system.
Okay.
And I worked right in Ithaca, New York.
Wow! Oh my gosh. Well, there you go.
Yep.
So
it is much. So we are only about half an hour, 40 minutes from Ithaca, where I am. And it's funny because just that distance, Ithaca, we kind of joke, should be like their own state within the state. They are very much different in the way they think than much of the surrounding areas. Actually, I've been known to say how Ithacan of them.
How Ithacan of them.
How Ithacan of them, yes.
Oh.
Yes, they're very holistic, very natural. Very hippie is a good way to describe. Yes.
Oh, damn. Do I want to move to Ithaca?
Yeah. You might.
So
there's a lot of good food.
Oh, I bet. It's a college town too, right? So there's lots of good stuff in a college town.
Yes.
So in Ithaca, so from your perspective in Ithaca, in the area, Ithacan area, what percentage of the population of human beings do you think are actually just pure evil and like they were born like horrible? There's something wrong in their brain and they are terrible.
1% or less. True.
I would totally agree with that. 100%. I thought maybe you were going to go a lot higher, and I was going to try to argue with you on it. Yeah, I think it's way less than we act like there is.
I think the population in general, that's probably true for.
Yeah, because because I think like even we know we've interviewed serial killers, and many of them said that they can point exactly to what drove them to do what they did. They can say, "Oh, my mom was horrible to me. Oh, I wanted to. I got interested in killing things, and my parents didn't stop me. My dad taught me how to do taxidermy. Things like that. Like there were clear signs. There were clear things that like led them to have. I guess the right word would be perverted views on the world. Not necessarily like evil, but just like they're warped, and that continued until they got older, and then it made them stunted socially, and then that led to them doing horrible things. And I think it's crazy that we treat people who have been in those issues, and then don't even get me started on drug-related offenses, which don't even need like that's just
I agree.
Like that literally is that's just poverty leads to that. There's no other cause. But like we demonize people for things that I don't think is necessarily their fault individually.
Agreed. Yes. Yeah.
Huh.
I would agree with you.
Well, that's really nice to hear from someone who works in the court system.
Yes. Yes. A survivor of the prior court employment.
What's different about, like, so you work for like a private practice, right?
I do.
So
yes.
what's different about working in the court system? Were you a paralegal in the court system?
I was not. I was a court clerk.
Oh.
So I did probably what everyone thought was really, really stupid. I left a very cushy state retirement with really good benefits and pretty decent pay. And I came to private practice because I have a little guy who will be a year next month. And I was driving a long distance to go to work every day and then a long distance home every day. And I just was not willing to be away from him anymore.
Oh, I love that.
So I came here, and my new employer is really great. He's very laid back as far as family things. He's very accommodating. So some people kind of think I'm foolish, but I have zero regrets.
I wouldn't either.
No regrets.
No regrets.
Yes.
Are
yes.
you...
But difference-wise, so I think that so it's a lot of the same clientele, obviously, because the area is the same area that he practices in. And I did work for a family court setting.
Okay.
And he deals with a lot of family law as well as like matrimonial law, divorces, and things like that. So I think the clientele is the same, but I'm just on the other side of it now, as far as like previously I really only dealt with the judge themselves. I didn't have a lot of interaction with the clients, and now I have a direct interaction daily with said clients.
Oh. Do you have to like comfort them? Are you with them in emotional moments?
For the most part, no. I do occasionally get like those phone calls where something drastic has happened.
Yeah.
Or emails where they're explaining this or that. Sometimes I get angry phone calls because they didn't get the decision that they wanted or the answer that they wanted. But
right.
I mean, it's nothing that, I always say I can never be upset at a person who's angry or passionate about family law, because it's your kids and you should be passionate about that.
Yeah, of course. I imagine that I imagine you deal with a lot of fear, a lot of people in a fear
Unknown.
setting.
Yep.
Unknown, yeah.
Yep.
That's hard. It's hard to look into the eyes of someone who is feeling that kind of thing. Are you worried? I know I don't mean to change topics, but are you worried about your little one's future with the state of everything?
Yeah, so we actually waited to have children. So I'm 37, so I waited until I was 36 to have kids, which is older than most people.
Sure.
Yeah, I think we waited for a couple of reasons. One, because we just wanted to make sure that we were financially set and ready. And two, because there was a little bit of fear. I mean, obviously raising children now is much different than when I was a kid, or, even 10 or 15 years ago. Times have really changed with the introduction of social media and everything being readily available at kids' fingertips and, the internet and things like that. It's not as simple as when I was a kid. So there is a little bit of fear, especially, I don't know, with schools and how easily children become entangled in this and that, and there is some fear for sure.
Yeah. I feel, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like the internet was way scarier when I was younger. I'm around your age. I'm about 5 years younger than you. And when I was growing up on the internet, like, you could click the wrong thing and I clicked the wrong thing and somehow ended up watching a video of a camel being slaughtered. Right? So, like,
oh my God.
I feel like when I was a kid, it was a wasteland and people were kind of just throwing crazy things up at the wall and it was sticking. And then also
agreed.
YouTube was just nuts. It was like so like weird memes and like weird animations and now it's like the internet. If a kid gets lost on YouTube, they're gonna find a podcast about racism or something. And it's
Right.
sure. It's like I don't know. I feel like I was raised with just really strange imagery that just kind of messed me up a little bit. And now I think kids are being exposed to scary ideas. I think that's the thing I'm scared of for children.
Agreed.
Is that they're getting exposed to really, really complex, intentionally complex ideas that are meant to confuse them and scare them and meant to make them hate other people and meant to make them feel superior or feel inferior. And that's, I think, what freaks me out is like the mind games. And also, of course, AI. They literally won't be able to trust anything they see in front of them. So,
Yes. Okay, yes, very much agree with that. I actually was just introduced to ChatGPT today.
Oh, Jesus
Didn't even know this was a thing.
Okay, do you know?
I
Have you
know.
learned about it?
I
Do you
know.
know how awful this is, Amanda? It was Amanda, right? Sorry.
It is.
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
Very briefly.
Do you know how?
Very
okay,
briefly.
so like, what is happening if you haven't found out? People are talking to this thing as a therapist. They're using this
Oh God.
essentially this smart search data bank. It's essentially just a thing that can research everything all at once and then spew something back at you that it thinks you're going to like. And I'm really passionate about this because my nephew is way into AI. He thinks AI is going to like improve the mind functions of humans. And I'm like, you don't understand how dangerous this is. It's telling you things that it just thinks you want to hear. And it has directly led, ChatGPT has directly led to someone killing themselves because they asked it for
awful.
help. And
That's awful.
It's awful.
Yeah, I didn't dive too deep into it. I simply used it as a method to write a resume.
Oh, well, that's fine. Who cares? Like that, yeah. That's what AI should be used for, right? That's what, like, my thing is, like, I'm fine with automating stupid things that I don't want to do that no one wants to do. If somebody wants to plagiarize a resume on ChatGPT, who cares? Like, seriously, who cares?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? That's fine, because obviously no one's even going to read that resume anyway. It goes through a computer. So I'd rather a computer build the resume that can trick the computer into letting me into an interview. So that's fine. If we're going to fight computers, we got to fight them with computers. I get that. But what I'm upset with is, like, there are basic human utilities. There are human jobs that are you have to be a human to do them correctly. Therapy, art, I would say teaching, probably. I don't know about legal. Do you think that a robot could be a lawyer? Do you think a computer would be like a decent lawyer?
I think it probably could use the resources of the internet to search, like, case law and things like that.
Like on the fly,
cite the case
like
law
right
and-
there in the courtroom. It could
Yeah, but I don't think it could keep up. You know what I mean? With an attorney's book of knowledge that they keep in their own head, as well as their own experience.
Yeah.
I mean, the attorney I work for has been in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hearings, and, you know, I'll be honest with you, a lot of times, as much as it's not like a black and white case, it's a lot of the same instances with just different faces.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
sure.
The fight is the same in a lot of different.
Oh, of course.
So just the experience alone, I don't think that AI could keep up with that.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the argument is that you could, like, teach it, right? You could teach it, but I just don't think that. Maybe, and again, I'm mostly basing this on Law and Order, but it feels like you kind of have to have some showmanship to be a lawyer. You kind of have to be able to. You're a public speaker. That's a public speaking.
You are a public speaker, and it also requires a certain degree of, I don't want to say arrogance, but I think that you do have to have that, because arrogance allows for you to appear confident. And certainly if I'm being represented by someone legally, I want them to be confident.
That is such an interesting thing I've never thought about. That
Yeah.
like a lawyer kind of has to be a little bit of a piece of shit. Just enough that they are willing to think that I'm
enough of an asshole.
Yeah. I'm going to win this. I'm confident I'm going to win this, and I'm going to, like, bark for you. I can fight for you, and I'm gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yep.
huh?
Yes.
Wow. Do you think?
Yep.
Do you think that? Do you think that helps them in other parts of their life? Do you think that do you think that the arrogance helps them in their relationships? Or like?
Yes.
You think so?
Very much so.
Really?
Yes. 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 For some people. I mean, I guess it depends on. It takes a certain person to be attracted to that. I myself am not.
Right. Right. Well, no, I get what you mean, because I'm a lesbian. I'm very much attracted to mean women. Like and I don't know why. And I think that that's definitely, yeah.
We all have a type.
Right. We all. Exactly. Yeah. So maybe I guess I could see it. I think I'd probably be attracted to a fancy mean lawyer lady. I could see that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny because he's not. To know him outside of the courtroom, he's a much different person.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. I'm different.
Yeah.
I'm different.
Almost Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, yeah. I'm way different. I think I'm I know as a theme park employee, you know how to turn it on. You turn on the smile and the happy. Everybody has their guest voice, and
I always say my phone voice went to Harvard. The rest of me, the School of Hard Knocks.
I have never heard that, and that's so funny. Like you got to appear really smart, right? That's funny because I used to be really bad.
Yes.
I used to be horrible at talking on the phone. This show has helped me get better at that. But I used to work at like an amp shop, like a music shop, and I had to call people a lot about their orders. And like when I would have to leave a message, it was awful. I would just stumble through it, and I sounded like I've never spoken on a phone before. It was so bad, and I had so much anxiety about it. And that's such a great idea of just like, if you just try to sound smarter than you are, use good language.
Yes. You can trick a lot of people.
It's kind of like wearing glasses for your voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Amanda, I've taken up almost 30 minutes of your time, and you've just been incredibly lovely. Well,
thank you.
Is there anything else that you want that you want to talk about?
I don't think so. It's been a lovely break from the monotony of family law.
I hope so, and I thank you, I guess, for all that you do. I think you probably serve an incredibly important role to your community, and that's really great. And thank you for this lovely chat. I hope that you and your family do well. And I don't know. I don't know could I call you back another time and chat?
Sure. Sure.
Would it just be this number, the same number?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll save this on the roster, and when I go, I probably later this month, maybe I'll do an episode where I do a revisit for a few people I've talked to, and I'll add you to the list.
Okay, that sounds great.
Have a wonderful day, Amanda, and stay smart sounding.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, man, what a great call. Now you can call me at this number and check on me. Or I can check on you. It can be like an on-demand type situation. And we can talk about anything. We could talk about politics. We could talk about Star Wars. I could roast you. You could roast me. Endless possibilities. So come join me here on YouTube, live most mornings from 8 to 10 Pacific Standard Time, and I'll check on you.